Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight. Herbert is sneaking in junk food. It's the food you're choosing and the amount you're eating. And so what is driving you to eat like that? His condition is far worse than 2 months ago. This is not acceptable.
What's the wildest thing you've ever seen someone eat? Now imagine that times 10. On my 600 pounds life, the meals go from big to outright unbelievable. These might be some of the craziest, most outrageous meals ever consumed, not just on this show, but in the world. The sheer quantity of these meals is enough to make anyone feel full. Food is the only thing on the minds of these people. It's like their love language. And nobody's more in love than Vianney and Alan, a couple who share their misery and problematic eating habits.
Life feels like a constant struggle because of how big I am. Every day is misery. And when I get up in the mornings, I wake up in pain. And it's not just in parts of my body, it's everywhere. And it gets worse by the day because I keep getting bigger. And now it's so bad, it's hard to do just about anything. But the hardest thing for me is I have to sleep alone now. Me and my wife can't be in the same bed because of how big we both.
Alan's life has become a series of aches and pains, literally. Everywhere hurts, and his sheer size means he and his wife can't even share the same bed anymore. That sounds lonely, right? It is. Living like this is alienating, and the physical pain just adds to the misery. Imagine being too big for the basic comforts like cuddling with your wife. It's a sad reality for Alan. His size has become his worst nightmare. You could say, size does matter, but this is misery of his own creation.
After I'm done helping Vianney and she's dressed, we can finally eat. And I start cooking the second I can because both of us been waiting to eat since we woke up. And when me and Vianney are eating, it's like we're in this cocoon where we're safe and there's nothing that can hurt us. And for that short while, all the pain in our lives is gone. That's what food has done for me since I'm really young. It's been saving me my whole life.
After struggling to even get out of bed, Alan and his wife kick off their day with a crazy breakfast. The moment they're up, it's straight to the kitchen for a feast. Loads of bacon, eggs, and pancakes. The sheer quantity would make you think they were preparing for a family brunch, but no, it's just for the two of them. It's not just breakfast, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet in their own home. Clearly, food is a big comfort for them, but it's also what's keeping them in this vicious cycle.
But we have to do something. But giving up food seems impossible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, give me the money. Here's the money. Alan is the first person that I've actually been able to have any type of meal with because I feel like there's no judgment. We give each other this freedom to eat what we want. So we're both just eating and being happy together. And when I'm eating, I can forget about my life and how miserable it is. So food is what keeps me and Alan going.
For Alan and his wife, food is more than just nourishment. It's an emotional crutch that they lean on hard. They enable each other's habits because there's no judgment between them, which only worsens the situation. They order so much food in one sitting that it could easily feed a family of 5. Piles of spaghetti, meatballs, and whatever else they can fit on the table. And just when you think they might be done, they top it all off with multiple scoops of ice cream. It's a cycle of comfort eating that just keeps spiraling out of control. And boy, does it get worse. We're already in the ballpark of multiple thousand calories.
And I'm only getting worse. I'm 35 now, and I'm probably over 600 pounds. And now I'm at a point where I can feel my body breaking down more and more every day, to the point where I know my heart or my lungs is gonna give out soon. The only thing that scares me more than the thought of me is the thought of losing Alan. You getting full, babe?
Get there.
On the same day, Alan and Vianney take their meals to another level of crazy by ordering 2 large pizzas each, plus burgers, fries, and large sodas. It's almost like they're sampling every item on the menu. Naturally, they inhale the food as if it's nothing. Despite their massive food gobbling, both Alan and Vianney realize they don't want to lose each other to their destructive habits. So they decide it's time for a change and reach out to Dr. Now for help.
They develop a unique dynamic over many years that's particularly dysfunctional with how they enable each other in a way that not only encourages but seems to justify the other's unhealthy behavior to the point where the relationship is now extremely codependent on food. And changing that is going to take a lot of work from them.
Right off the bat, Dr. Now quickly finds out exactly what's wrong with Alan and Vianney's relationship. Their unhealthy dynamic built around food is at the core of this problem. The pair is codependent, enabling each other's bad habits without much accountability. They love eating and they justify each other's massive inhalation of food, which makes it incredibly hard to break the cycle. Which raises the question, will the doc be able to help them? And more importantly, are they willing to be helped?
It's just sometimes I have to get something that I'm not supposed to have. It's like a once-a-week cheat day. A large order of nacho cheese, the steak, and I like to have a half a burrito, this with rice and cheese. Just rice and cheese? Yeah, that'd be it.
Dr. Now gave them a strict diet, but these two would rather have cardiac arrest. Alan and Vianney can't seem to break their old habits. They aren't fooling anyone but themselves by calling it cheat days. But these cheat days are more like cheat weeks. Alan ordered enough food to hit a week's worth of calories in one sitting, acting as if it's just a normal meal. This couple doesn't just eat, they devour food like it's their last day on earth. They know it's wrong, but seem powerless to stop. Just like the next patient, Sarah. She wants to turn her life around, but her love for crazy meals is unmatched.
The life that I'm living right now is miserable. And just walking hurts because of all the strain on my body. My knees hurt, my back hurts, my ankles sting. Even my shoulders hurt from all the weight I'm carrying. And it's gotten to the point where it's getting unbearable to go up the stairs. Like I have to literally crawl up the stairs like an animal.
Life is absolutely unbearable for Sarah, who has reached a point where she literally has to crawl up the stairs. The humiliation and mental defeat she feels every time she does this are heartbreaking. It's not just embarrassing, it's a clear sign that her body is giving up on her. She can't function normally anymore, and the weight of her situation, both physically and emotionally, is becoming too much to bear. But of course, she would rather bear humiliation than hunger. Even her first meal of the day is ridiculous beyond belief.
I still make Sarah's food. I make her plate for her. I know I put too much food on the plate, but if I don't, she'll badger me until I put more on there. And I'm not even sure why I do it. I think it's because I feel guilty.
Food gives me a feeling that I can't explain.
Sarah's mom prepares breakfast for her, and let's just say it's a meal that could probably feed a small army. We're talking mountains of sausages, a heap of eggs, and enough toast to make a little bakery. The sheer quantity is enough to leave anyone feeling a little nauseous just looking at it. They're preparing for a food-eating contest rather than a breakfast. And that's just the breakfast. It gets crazier.
There's never a moment I don't want to eat. I sit here until I get it. And that's pretty much what my mom does for me all day. And if my family or anyone tries to get me to stop, I get very upset. Then it makes it worse and I want to eat even more. I just crave everything all day long.
These meals are a never-ending parade of calorie-loaded dishes, each more ridiculous than the last one. Her life revolves around food, and this latest meal is no exception, easily tipping the scales at over 1,000 calories. It has enough butter and carbs that just a few bites could leave you feeling bloated. And let's not forget, this is only a short while after her massive breakfast. She gets on Dr. Now's program, and well, the results are a bit iffy.
Look what I just found.
Yes, I got that last night at the hotel
Like
because I didn't know.
5 bags of candy and 2 bags of cookies.
Because I didn't know how long we wouldn't have food here.
You knew we were going to the store today.
And you know you're going to eat most of that anyways.
You didn't tell me you had all this.
I told you I got snacks last night.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it away.
No, you won't. You'll keep it in
No,
your drawer.
I will. I am.
Okay, that's a lie.
Now that's just a classic case of snack smuggling. Sarah goes to great lengths to hide her stash from her mother. We're talking about a stockpile of goodies that could last her weeks. Bags of candies, cookies, and all the sugary treats you can imagine. When confronted, her first instinct is to deny it, then try justifying her actions, and finally, argue while saying nasty things.
Sarah is not taking her situation seriously, and a lot needs to happen for her to get on track. But the fact that she's making excuses makes me concerned that she's expecting an easy fix to her situation. So if she doesn't start taking responsibility for her own choices and her actions, then she's playing with an outcome she...
Dr. Now's analysis of Sarah's situation is blunt. She isn't taking her health seriously. She relies on nonsense excuses and seems to expect a quick fix for her problems. Time is running out before her eating habits spiral even further out of control. If she continues down this path of denial, the consequences could be severe. After all, the clock is ticking, and her meals are becoming more and more outrageous with every bite.
I'm worried I'm not going to be able to eat my favorite meal after the surgery, which is tater tot casserole. And I've been thinking that I've earned the right to celebrate just a little. Tater tot casserole is tater tots, cheese, cream of chicken soup, and a bunch of other stuff thrown together. And it's just really good. I think that I will be able to make this tater tot casserole and be able to enjoy a little bit of it.
After getting approved for weight loss surgery, Sarah decides to celebrate in the most outrageous way possible by enjoying a bizarre tater tot casserole. This isn't just any casserole. It's a cheesy, calorie-laden dish. This crazy recipe sounds both delicious and worrisome at the same time. Just look at it. It's loaded with melted cheese, crispy tater tots, and a bunch of other toppings. Sure, she deserves a little treat, but that's a bit excessive. Speaking of excess, Karina has a huge problem with her excessively crazy meals.
My first start in the morning when I wake up is, I'm still alive. I didn't die while I'm asleep. I dread getting out of bed in the morning. And because of my weight, I feel like my body's already giving up. I have lost most of my mobility, and I can't stand on my own. Because of that, I can no longer live alone.
Karina wakes up each morning in disbelief that her unhealthy habits haven't caught up with her yet. With her mobility lost, she can't stand or live independently, relying on others for even the simplest tasks. She dreads getting out of bed, but her mind immediately loves the idea of food. This is a constant in her life.
Okay, I need the pineapple nectar. My must-haves when anytime I go grocery shopping is juice, chips, my snack cakes, ice cream. Those are the main things I need to have. Can you get banana split? Get this double strawberry.
That's it?
Karina's misery doesn't keep her from stuffing herself with crazy foods, though. Despite her health crisis, she fills her cart with large quantities of juice, ice cream, and cakes. She definitely has an uncontrollable sweet tooth. It's almost as if the more miserable she feels, the more food she buys. Mind you, that's just grocery shopping. Her meals, on the other hand, get much worse, to the point where she keeps hidden stashes of food. It's like a pirate, except the treasure is chocolates.
When they're not around, I eat whatever I want. I keep snacks, like hidden away from my family to see. Usually I hide my stash in the recliner. Chocolate is very irresistible for me. I want it all the time.
Karina really took her food obsession to another level with those secret stashes chocolate that she hides from her family. The moment they leave the house, she pounces on her treasure, inhaling the sweets like there's no tomorrow. But the sugar rush doesn't end there. She follows it up by ordering an absurd meal large enough to feed an entire frat party. Her out-of-control cravings drive her to eat food in portions that would seem comical if they weren't so tragic.
But they don't know I eat this much.
When I'm eating, sometimes I feel like I'm out of control. But each bite, it's so satisfying. It makes me feel warm and good inside, if only for a short while. But I'm afraid that one day I'm just gonna eat too much. I'm probably gonna die from a heart attack.
Oh, she has a problem, all right. Karina's pizza order could easily give Ninja Turtles a tough competition. The sheer volume of greasy, cheesy goodness she consumes in one sitting is enough to make anyone's stomach feel bloated. And if that wasn't enough, she piles on a mountain of wings afterward. With every bite, her worries about a potential heart attack become more justified. You know, since her diet consists of heavy, calorie-dense meals in crazy quantities.
I'm very concerned about the degree that Karina is able to make excuses. She just has this long list of reasons why everything isn't her fault. And her parents don't seem to challenge her on that with any reality whatsoever. She claims her leg is broken and that's why she can walk, but there doesn't appear to be any significant issues with her.
Dr. Now's verdict is pretty simple. She's become a master of excuses, living in a bubble where she believes none of her problems are her fault. This delusion is made worse by her parents, who enable her behavior instead of challenging it. Just see how she insists that she has a broken leg. She doesn't accept it seems more likely that the weight she carries is the real problem for her knees. Dr. Now still gives her a chance, though. A strict diet and physical therapy regimen. However, the results are far from what he might hope for.
Lost exactly 60 pounds, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, great job. You're back on track. And overall, you lost 206 pounds. And physical therapy says you started to just barely walk again. Not fully, but you started trying. So that's excellent.
I've been following your orders.
How you feel now?
Lighter and happy that I'm down that much.
Despite her outrageous meals and endless excuses, Karina surprisingly stepped up her game this time. She made remarkable progress, shedding an impressive 200 pounds. Even more inspiring is that she's beginning to walk again. Perhaps not all crazy meal stories end badly. Some manage to change despite their criminally outrageous meals. Sadly, the next patient, Maja, isn't one of those people.
When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I thank God that my body didn't give out during the night. Because my health is so bad now, I never know when my body's gonna hit its limit. And it's only getting worse. And there are a lot of days where I don't even think I can push myself to shower.
Waking up feels like a miracle for Maja. With her body screaming for help, even the simplest tasks, like showering, have become impossible challenges. It has gotten so bad that she dreads the thought of basic hygiene. Unfortunately, Maja's eating habits are at the root of her problems. They're so severe that she feels the need to hide her food intake from her boyfriend, resorting to secret eating sessions.
And I'm worried about what Christian would think of me if he knew how much I actually ate. So I just try to hide it and go out on my own. I'll go to 2, 3, 4 places. But the first meal is always the most important one because I always get what I'm craving first.
Can I get 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage muffin with egg?
Maja's breakfast routine is like a modern-day hunter-gatherer, except she's hunting down fast food and gathering fat. She's driving around, munching on 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and, because why not, a muffin for good measure. That's not just breakfast, that's a feast, probably more than most of us eat in an entire day.
Butter sandwich, jalapeno roast beef slider, and your ultimate BLT sandwich.
We'll be happy to help you out if you want to.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Maja's life seems to spin around food, and her meals were nothing short of crazy. After that calorie-packed breakfast, she dives headfirst into part 2, an ultimate BLT, beef sliders, and a beef and cheddar sandwich. It's hard to believe how she fits all that in her stomach. You'd think she'd be bursting at the seams, but somehow, there's always room for more. Afterwards, instead of savoring her food, she fills the space with endless fighting and bickering with her boyfriend.
Where's your phone?
In my purse. I need to check my flight.
Where's your purse?
Christian? Really?
I don't know where
Get
your
off
purse-
your phone.
I don't know where your purse
Be a
is.
part of this.
Where the is your purse? Your
It's
purse
right
is
next to you. I left it right next to you.
Your purse is not right here. Here.
Really checking off all the toxic red flags in her relationship. It's clear both she and her boyfriend are fed up with each other. After joining Dr. Now's program, Maja makes some promising progress, but her follow-up meeting is where things take a turn for the worse. Dr. Now was on the about to approve her for weight loss surgery. Sadly, she slipped back into her old habits, eating crazy meals like there's no tomorrow.
Christian and I have been fighting a lot, and getting down here, driving, was just really stressful. But I've been trying to eat as healthy as I can.
Well, I understand things are hard, but if you use that as an excuse to overeat, then you're never gonna lose weight because life gets hard. So as sympathetic as I am to that, it's still no excuse. So at this time, I'm canceling your weight loss surgery.
Dr. Now had to cancel Maja's surgery because she was back on her old nonsense yet again. As he bluntly put it, while she deserves sympathy, life is tough, and it always will be. She needs to stop using that as an excuse for her overeating. What happens next is a bit messed up. Dr. Now asks her boyfriend if he'll support her on this journey. His response is crazier than the meals Maja usually enjoys.
Melt down! Doctor Now asked you a simple question.
I've answered questions in the past. I can take a day off.
I hate you. I hate you for doing this to me, Christian. Why can't you just answer the questions? Oh, you're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything.
Christian refused to answer that question, and that just led to a complete meltdown. She's yelling at him in the doctor's office, and she doesn't care if anyone else can hear them. To some degree, it is justified. Her boyfriend has been really unsupportive and borderline petty at times. But Maja just completely flies off the handle with this. Eventually, she was denied surgery. But one thing's undeniable. The list of food these people ate in one day is enough to feed an entire family for a month. Not all stories of crazy meals end up crazy good and peaking of endings. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more.